Hello everybody and welcome back to our Minutemen playthrough of Fallout 4. Okay, what on earth he's doing? He's sitting through a table. Right, we've got to go and speak to everybody on the Prydwyn. We're going to continue to form an alliance with the Brotherhood.
Excuse me, Proctor Ingram.
So, you're the new recruit I heard about. Huh, not what I was expecting.
Sounds like you're disappointed.
I'm not disappointed, just surprised. You don't look like one of the usual wastelanders we'd pick up. Anyway, since you came down here to meet me, we may as well get it over with. My name's Ingram, and this lovely little grease pit is where you'll usually find me. If your power armor's too tight in the crotch, the Prydwyn's about to crash into the ground, or a robot's gone haywire, you come see me.
Sounds like you have a pretty full plate.
Plate? Hell. I have a whole table's worth of duties around here. There isn't a day that goes by on this tub without 5 or 6 things breaking down. And since I'm stuck in this rig, I'm not quite as spry as I used to be. The work tends to pile up.
Actually, you seem to be getting around really well.
I suppose it's better than the alternative. Anyway, I'm sure you're here to get your hands on some power armor. There's a pretty decent T-60 suit sitting in Bay 3 that's all yours. The left leg actuator's a bit sticky, but it'll keep the creeps off of you. Oh, and if you need any work done on it, feel free to use the workshops around here. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to get back to work.
Okay, so if we do want a power armor, we can go there. Terminal.
Can't break the code.
It's too high for me, okay, to speak to Tegan.
Night. Even though they've locked me in this blasted cage, I promise that I won't bite.
Why are you in there?
I'm glad you asked. Now, this is the stowage depot, and I, as you probably already guessed, am the ship's quartermaster, Proctor Tegan. The powers that be have me locked in here, so I can keep an eye on the Brotherhood's valuables. If you need to stock up on supplies before you head out on a mission, this is the place to buy them.
That's good to know.
I'm glad you're the agreeable type. When I tell most of the new recruits that they have to buy their own equipment, they give me the stink eye. The good news is by having a constant flow of caps, I'm able to buy whatever you bring me. Yeah, I'm mostly interested in weapons, but I'll take anything useful.
Oh, that's good.
If you're just looking to make a few caps on the side, I might have some extra work for you to do.
Okay.
I could use some extra caps.
You need them, and I want you to spend them here. It's a match made in heaven. It just involves a little bit of heavy lifting and interacting with the local farms.
I won't be doing any of these missions for him.
Since I'm manning this one-man zoo, I need someone to do the legwork for me. After you're done with the meet and greet, we can discuss the details. In the meantime, if you ever need anything else, gun, a mod, even ammo, you just let me know.
No, I'm not going to do any missions for him. Just because it goes against what we're doing with the Minutemen. Now, don't get me wrong, I am going to be doing some missions for them just to keep the peace and to keep our alliance going, but I'm not going to be doing anything that goes against the Minutemen. Like, the missions he wants me to do are going to be extorting the local farms and that, and I'm not doing that. I'm trying to find a computer.
There. That should hold.
Thank you, sister.
You know, we wouldn't have to worry about them getting out if they weren't on the
Charging
ship.
into a
Your
situation,
concerns are
guns
noted,
blazing.
Scribe.
Good way to
Give
get
Proctor
yourself
Ingram
killed.
my thanks for letting me borrow you. Feel free to have a look at the specimens, but please don't touch anything. I refuse to be held responsible if you're injured.
Quite a collection you've got here.
Well, thank you. Most people don't appreciate the important work that I'm trying to do here. I'm on the cusp of discovering how these creatures' bodies have adapted to the radiation that's infiltrated their habitats. If I can crack the code, I can equip our troops with a protective compound far superior to Rad-X.
That's amazing.
Well, it's only a theory so far. You see, the ionizing radiation left behind by the Great War kills because it damages most living things on a cellular level. However, After several generations, these creatures' bodies have adapted by altering their genetic makeup to prevent cellular disruption. I believe I've discovered how I can replicate that genetic restructuring rapidly. Instead of decades, I can do it in moments. For a short period of time, anyway.
Why alter it for a short period of time? Why not do it permanently?
Attempting to alter the genetic code permanently? That's too close to what happened with FEV and Spawn, the super mutant. I'm not willing to take a chance like that. I wish I could show you a sample of the compound, but unfortunately I've hit a stumbling block preventing me from synthesizing a sample. The specimens I've already captured can only produce so much blood and genetic material. If I try and harvest too much, they'll die. What I need are more samples of blood from the creatures roaming the Commonwealth.
No problem. I'd be glad to help.
I appreciate your confidence in my abilities, brother. I've modified your Pip-Boy to scan the corpse of any freshly killed creature that has the proper type of blood in its body. All you have to do is pick up any viable sample and bring it back to me. Hey, I really appreciate you doing this for me. It's nice to know I'm not the only person in the Brotherhood with an open mind.
Okay, so obviously we're going to get a few missions. I'm going to have a look on the terminal. See what she says. Get some lore going. Personal notes. As we've been travelling towards the Commonwealth, I've been preparing my makeshift laboratory in the rear cargo hold of the Prydwyn. When we arrive, Quinlan says he'll be sending out several patrols with the express purpose of collecting viable field specimens. My job is to oversee the dissection and study of anything the patrols bring aboard. I've always agreed with the notion that the quickest way to learn your enemy's weaknesses is by examining them from the inside out. I hope I don't have to wait too terribly long to put that notion to the test. Quinlan's collection teams have already brought super mutant and sim specimens aboard. I've collected a fair bit of data from their remains, but have yet to discover anything that will give our soldiers an advantage in the field. As far as the super mutant specimens go, they're quite different from the strains present in the capital wasteland, so most of our anatomical records require updates, which takes time. And the sim set specimens, they're a complete mystery. The models we've recovered are almost entirely mechanised, so I've been coordinating with Proctor Ingram since she's our resident robotics expert. I suppose it's only a matter of time before I have some answers. In the meantime, I'm going to begin working on a special project of my own design. I brought several mole rat specimens aboard for my special project. I'm convinced that the key to unlocking improved radiation resistance is in tenacious little creatures like these. If they've learned to adapt to the radiation blanket in the Commonwealth, with a little help we can too. I know most of the crew thinks I'm crazy, but I'm certain that I'm on the right track. I just need as many viable blood samples as possible to make my theory a reality, which is difficult right now since Maxon has most of our team sweeping for technology. I'll see what I can do with my mole rat specimens, but I'm not sure it will be enough. I've run into a stroke of luck today. One of the new recruiters agreed to do a little field research for me and bring back as many viable blood samples as they could find. I was even more fortunate that they possessed a Pip-Boy, not about us. I could modify to extract the blood from whatever creatures they killed during their missions. Now all I have to do is wait until our new recruit returns and my special project can continue in earnest. Dr. Quinlan to Scribe Neria. Well, I'm pleased that you're settling into your new role as our medical examiner. I'm a bit dismayed that your attention appears to be focused on your personal projects. The dissection examination of the super mutant and simp corpses needs to be your top priority. Don't make me regret placing you in charge of that laboratory, Neria. I have plenty of other scrubs waiting in line who are just itching for you to fail. It's from Reese. Send in the mole rats that you asked for on the next vertibird flight from the police station. I have no idea what you want them for. Those things bite and they crap all over the place. It was a pain in the ass to collect them alive, so you better have that case of whiskey you promised ready for the return flight after the pilot drops them off. As far as getting a Brahmin up there, you can forget it. I talked to the pilot and he refuses to shove one of those disgusting things into his ship. She could always get down there and do it. I've been informed by several members of the crew that you're keeping several mole rat specimens in the laboratory area of the ship. While I can appreciate their value as biological specimens, I'm sure you understand that these creatures are filthy and emit an unpleasant odour in enclosed spaces such as our hull. I'll permit you to keep them if you can assure me that you'll have Proctor Ingram devise some type of ventilation system to help mitigate the smell. Try to remember that they're sharing a space where people have to eat and sleep, Scribe. I expect a full report by the end of the week.
Technology's in good hands with the Brotherhood. I know.
Hey,
Take their food. We can use it at our own place.
No matter how many battles we win, there's always another fight ahead.
What's going on over here?
You are the eyes and the ears of the Brotherhood. If you see or hear anything suspicious, it is your duty to report it immediately. We live in enemy territory now. Your vigilance could mean the difference between life and death. Understood?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Good. Ad Victorium, squires.
Ad Victorium.
Dismissed.
Proctor Ingram said she needed the suit tested yesterday.
Yeah, I get it. Just the human-looking synths are the worst. They hide in plain sight.
Firing.
I'm raiding them.
Everything holding together?
Fusion cores.
Good. Firing.
All right. Everything looks nominal. And you didn't scuttle the ship. Thanks, Initiate.
Sure. Anytime.
Oh, these are locked. I'm getting in trouble for these ones. Karen, I really miss you, baby. Hope you're safe out there. Remember to keep the doors locked at night and the shotgun I gave you loaded at all times. Don't trust anyone unless you know them, and even then, keep an eye on everything they do. I don't know how long this tour will last, but I promise to come back safe. Love you. Open with moving your king's pawn 2 spaces, eh? Smart move. Try to control the centre of the board and free up the queen and one of your bishops. But you think I'm going to mirror your move, but guess what? I'm going to move my queen's pawn 2 spaces so I can teach you a little something called the French defence. Don't worry, you'll get the hang of this game. Hey Mom, now let me send out a message before we initiate radio silence. I'm working with a pretty decent officer, a guy named Kells. Treats us well as long as we do what we're told. Working with the Brotherhood has been an amazing experience so far. It's nice to finally be making a difference in this messed up world. Got to go now, Mom. Say hi to Daniel for me. Chalk up 2 more dead ferals. That makes a total of 17 since I've been out here. You wouldn't believe how easy they go down when you hit them with a laser rifle. It slices right through the ugly things like butter. When I get back from this tour, I'm going to take you feral hunting. Trust me, you'll love it. For now, you'll just have to stick to hunting the local mole rats with your zip gun. Hope this message gets to the right person. My name is Nightboater and I served with your son, Initiate Arlen. I'm sorry to inform you that Arlen was shot and killed during one of our field training operations. I wanted you to know he died a brave death, saving the life of 3 other initiatives in the process. There's nothing I could say that will soften the blow of losing a child, but I wanted you to know that it was an honour to fight on Arlen's side. You should be proud of the sacrifice he made for the sake of his country. I've sent his personal belongings back to the Citadel. You have my deepest condolences for your loss. Oh god, there's something over here.
Do you know what a 10-pound cockroach will do to a buoyancy regulator? Yes. Don't be smart. You want to see the Brotherhood's
Bobby pin.
All right. Just don't tell anyone, okay?
But there's a reason.
Cruise terminal. Announcement. All recovered technology must be presented immediately to Proctor Quinlan for evaluation. Anyone found in possession of undocumented technologies will be subject to inquiry and punishment. Scribe Naraya's mole rat subjects are not pets, they are crucial military resources. As such, they are not to be fed by any person or save Scribe Mariah and her team. Any violation of this policy result in severe disciplinary action. Ooh. Due to increased raider activity, all leave requests to off-base sites have been temporarily suspended. Affected parties will have their leave compensated at the next level opportunity. This is a notice to all personnel. Please think of your brothers and sisters down below. Thoroughly secure all gear while on the flight deck. Oh god, have they had somebody drop some overboard? Any personnel who have not completed their annual medical evaluation should report to Night Captain Cade immediately for an examination. We've actually got to do that ourselves at some point. Does this lead? Forecastle. Dog me, what are you doing down there, you crazy dog?
Yes.
Oh.
Hey, look at that.
And we've leveled up. Mechanical menace. I'm not doing that yet, I've got things to do. Hi, kitty cat.
Ah, good. You're finally here. Just set the books down anywhere. I'll get to them as soon as I can.
What you on about?
What are you doing with all these books?
I suppose I could.
It's time to clean his glasses.
To address your question.
Makes sense to get rid of the trash.
Well, I'm pleased you agree. Since it's obvious that you aren't who I was expecting, would you mind telling me why you're here?
Maxon wanted me to meet the crew, so you were next on my list.
Ah, yes. You must be the new recruit described in Paladin Dance's report. Under normal circumstances, I'd provide you with a proper orientation of my department. However, I'm woefully behind setting up research patrols and getting bombarded with requests for technical documentation. Unfortunately, I'm lacking the personnel needed to get the job done.
What type of technical documentation are you looking for?
The Brotherhood is primarily interested in collecting information that might assist us with our current mission. Medical records, science journals, weapon schematics. If it contains any type of useful data, we need to get our hands on it.
Maybe I can lend you a hand.
That would be splendid. As you patrol the Commonwealth, keep your eyes open for blueprints, memos, manuals, books, charts. Anything containing useful technical data. I'm authorized to pay you for each bundle of documents that you recover. And if you wish to be assigned to a research patrol, I have plenty of them waiting to be filled. In any event, it was a pleasure to meet you, Knight.
I'm going to reboot on his computer. Here, kitty cat. Former retail location very likely to contain useful scrap or raw materials. Raiders last seen an inhabiting location. Oh, this is Hardware Town. So with caution, raiders may be stockpiling ammunition or weapons as well. Suggest all sweep and retrieve teams recover what they can. Vault-Tec, Vault 75. Vault-Tec constructed Vault in the basement of Malden Middle School. Data suggests Vault was created to experiment on children. Wow. Bad. Well, purpose has been struck from all records. Would like to retrieve as much data as possible from location, as well as any technological artifacts that were left behind. Robotics disposal grounds, junkyard littered with remains of pre-war robots. Scouting patrol reported a possible military-grade sentry bot that looks serviceable. Location likely to contain spare parts or electronic materials. This is regional office. So we're getting a lot of map markers from this. Facility was former location for Bureau of Alcohol, Drugs, Tobacco, Firearms and Lasers. Data suggests evidence lockers on site may still contain viable weapons or other useful equipment. Warning, scouting units have observed raiders operating in the area. Factory was designed for the manufacture and repair of Miss Nanobots. Site likely to contain technological artifacts and documentation as well as spare parts Procter Ingram might find useful. The chance for automated security at this location is high. Okay. Oh, hang on, we got loads. Prydwyn internal mail. Maxon. After we arrive in the sorry guys. After we arrive in the Commonwealth, I want you to begin organising sweep and retrieve teams. Take as many men as you need and coordinate the duty rosters with Lance Captain Kells. I want as much information about these energy readings from Dance's team as you can find. We could be on the brink of discovering the location of the Institute, so this needs to be your top priority. Procter Ingram is requesting any information that will assist her reconstruction efforts. Passed along your gantry design to Kells, and we're both confident that it will be completed by the time her project is ready. We have a lot of resources riding on the success of Ingram's mission, so I expect you to help her in any way you can. I've sent over the proper forms to requisition 2 more scribes and you denied them. I don't need you slowing me down on this. Quinlan Maxon keeps hounding me for results, but getting anything done with this project has been like trying to field strip a laser rifle without using your hands. I need all the help I can get, and if that means taking a few troops away from your scouting missions, I'm afraid you'll just have to make do. Now sign the damn forms and let me do my job. Oh. Meow. I can hear the cat on here. The Rise of Elder Maxon. Opening note. Oh, we've got a lot on Elder Maxon here. These entries are my attempt at writing a timeline documenting Elder Maxon's rise within the ranks of the Brotherhood. It's my sincerest wish that these entries will one day be compiled in a classic printed book format and distributed throughout the wasteland. Long live Elder Maxon and long live the Brotherhood. Despite the defeat of the Enclave in the capital wasteland, the Brotherhood of Steel was still an organisation divided. The Outcast, a splinter faction that left the safety of the Citadel, still struggled to survive in the capital wasteland. Separated from their parent organisation, while some of the Brotherhood members within the Citadel had no desire to reunite with the disgraced brothers, many saw the advantage in bolstering their own forces with warriors already trained and indoctrinated by the Brotherhood of Steel. Surely they could work out any philosophical issues. I wonder if they ever did. Enter Maxon. Enter Arthur Maxon, young squire to both Olwyn and Sarah Lyons, and descendant of the very founder of the Brotherhood of Steel. Roger Maxon. When Elder Olwyn Lyons died, care of young Arthur Maxon passed to Sarah Lyons, Olwyn's daughter, who was then named Elder in his place. But when Sarah fell in battle shortly thereafter, she died. Things became complicated. The Brotherhood of Steel, based in the Citadel, found itself in need of leadership and began appointing one ineffective elder after another. As the years passed and Arthur Maxon grew, so too did his accomplishments. At age 12, while on a trailing patrol, he killed 2 raiders and saved the squad that was supposed to be escorting him. At age 13, he single-handedly killed the Deathclaw and gained the large facial scar he still has to this day. But it was his victory at age 15 over the super mutant Shepard, who was attempting to reorganize the Capital Wasteland super mutants, that elevated him to hero-like status. When word of this feat reached the Elders back on the West Coast, they knew the time had come. Maxson was ready to lead, and more importantly, to reunite the fragmented Brotherhood of Steel forces on the East Coast. So it was that a year later, when he was only 16 years old, Arthur Maxson brokered a peace with the Outcasts, reintegrating them into the Brotherhood of Steel and proving he was as effective a diplomat as he was a warrior. Now reunited, the full force of the Brotherhood of Steel appointed Arthur Maxson as Elder, the youngest in Brotherhood of Steel history. Elder Maxson reigned supreme in the Capital Wasteland, and his authority and influence have been spreading across the eastern seabed, thanks in no small part by the mobility afforded by the Prydwyn. He has the full support of the Elders back on the West Coast, who have proudly reported that they've begun eradicating cults that have popped up, worshipping Maxson as though he's some kind of god. Maxson himself is almost offended by the idea of being referred to as a deity, as it goes against everything he believes in. Arthur Maxson is happy to be one thing, the perfect human specimen, an example of everything a human being can achieve, assisted, even enhanced by advanced technology, but still very much human. We are learning quite a lot about the Brotherhood. They are our allies, so we will learn as much as we can from any records.
Glad you finally stopped by, soldier. Are you ready for your medical exam? Where are you going, Knight? You need to complete your medical exam.
What?
Excuse me, Captain Cade.
Okay, looks like I'm doing an exam.
Are you ready for your medical exam?
Yep.
Sure. Go right ahead.
All right. I'm going to ask you a series of medical-related questions, and I'd like you to answer me to the best of your ability. First question. As a child, were you ever exposed to radiation for an extended period of time?
Vortex screening sarcastic. Before the war.
There wasn't that much radiation around before the bombs fell.
Before the bombs? What? Let me check my notes. You were a vault dweller? You're probably healthier than anyone else aboard. Anyway, sorry I missed that in your records. Just going down the list of questions. I'm sure you understand. Okay, second question. Have you ever had or come in contact with a person confirmed to be carrying a communicable disease?
Never been seriously sick in my life.
Good, good. Third question. And please, answer honestly. Have you ever had sexual relations with any species considered non-human?
No. Never have.
Very well. Last question. Would you have any problems pulling the trigger on an enemy of the Brotherhood, whether they're human, formerly human, or machine?
That's more of a morals question, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I feel that the mental state of the crew is just as important as the physical. Anyone that hesitates firing in combat due to misguided moral standards certainly isn't Brotherhood material. So what about you? Would you have a problem with it?
I suppose so, no problem whatsoever. I only defend myself.
If my life's in danger, I'll do whatever it takes to defend myself.
That's an acceptable answer. And the most common. Excellent. I think I've got all the information I need. I see no reason to prevent you from beginning your duties immediately. If you ever need medical assistance, you let me know.
What happens if we fail it? I only want to read your terminal, dude. Oh, hang on, there's Loria. Move. Right, play.
Medical report, Knight Captain Cade reporting. I've been working closely with Scribe Naraya, examining some of the synth bodies that our recon teams have recovered.
Looking for medical assistance,
Even though we have yet to recover the synths that appear completely human, these lesser models are still astoundingly advanced. What's becoming apparent is that the Institute is the most technologically gifted enemy we've ever encountered, and therefore exceedingly dangerous. I've turned over all of my data to Lancer Captain Kells, along with my recommendations for developing effective countermeasures for these synths. Unfortunately, I'm not sure how much it will help, given the fact that the real enemy are the synths that could be hiding among us.
Well, let's read his terminal.
How can I help you today?
You can't, I'm reading your terminal, dude. Medical files. Treated ongoing, okay. Paladin Dan's patient symptoms included inability to sleep and a dull throbbing pain in head. All started test on negative. Evidence suggests post-traumatic stress disorder or similar issue. Till severity of issue increases, recommend voluntarily removal from active duty. Patient was informed but is currently in the field. Ongoing. Dr. Ingram. Patient is complaining of phantom pain from limb loss. Previously prescribed painkiller and stimbat mixture appears ineffective. Dosage has been increased, which is maximum allowable to remain duty capable. Patient also describes nightmares of limb loss incident, which is not unusual considering the level of trauma. We'll continue to monitor. Dr. Tegan. Patient slipped and fell due to intoxication, causing minor laceration on forehead and contusion to upper chest. Applied stimpak and recommend a minimum 8-hour bed rest. This is a third intoxication-related medical incident for patient. So ordered treatment program to begin as per regulations. So Tegan's a bit of a drinker. Deceased. Merrick. Patient returned from patrol with critical injuries from exposure to nuclear warhead detonation. Injuries: left arm and leg missing, severe internal trauma, left hemisphere of head severely burnt and acute radiation poisoning. Attempted emergency surgery, but patient died after 3 hours. Patient's remains were incinerated as per regulations. Sad. Scribos Ridge. Patient suffering from discoloration and rash, pustules and radioactive residue in groin area. Symptoms consistent with sexually transmitted disease from ghoul species. What? Patient treated and reported has been sent to Proctor Ingram. What the frick? What? That's weird. Maxim. As we undertake our urgent mission in the Commonwealth, I feel that the mental well-being of the crew should remain a top priority for your department. I'm well aware that being sequestered aboard this vessel can take its toll. If you observe any issues relating to the stresses that these lengthy missions can cause, I want you to treat it as though a legitimate illness is being reported. If we have any hope of defeating the Institute, we cannot afford to lose even a single soldier to mental instability. I've received your concerns about Proctor Ingram's condition, but I can assure you she is more than capable of handling herself. She's already proven to be an extremely valuable member of this crew, and I will not place her on mandatory leave until you've proven to me that she's physically incapable of handling her duties. Our latest sweep and retrieve patrol came back with some medical supplies. If you have some extra time, head down to the cage and let me know what you want. If there's anything you don't need, I'll use it for trading. We're running a bit low on ammunition supplies, and these medical supplies are as good as caps with the locals. I finished reading your medical report on Night Sergeant Merrick. The fact that he managed to survive long enough to reach the Prydwyn and deliver his report is absolutely incredible. The sacrifice that he made for the sake of the mission is a testament to his dedication and loyalty. We will be holding a memorial service on the ship's forecastle at sunset this evening. I sincerely hope you'll be able to attend. Oh yes, not mine. Captain Kells terminal, let's read it. Captain, I need you to prepare the Prydwyn for departure. Archivist Knox has completed the analysis of the energy readings we received from Paladin Dance's recon team and has concluded that they're being produced by the Institute. Knox is certain that the energy readings could only be produced by artificial means and only with an extremely advanced level of technology. Judging from the frequency of the readings, we both agree that some type of device or weapon is being deployed by the Institute, which means we need to head to the Commonwealth as soon as possible. I'm not certain what type of ploy the Institute is attempting to unleash upon the world, but I'll be damned if I'm going to stand idly by and let it happen. All stations are reporting green and all personnel are aboard the Prydwyn. I've gone over her from the bow to stern and she's ready to depart. With all due respect, it would be helpful if you could let me know exactly where we're headed. It's difficult preparing this vessel properly, not knowing what type of environment we're flying her through. I'm well aware we're pointing north, but just how far are we going? And what can we expect when we get there, Captain? As requested, I've sent over my evaluation of Proctor Ingram's capabilities in the field. In my professional opinion, Ingram is fully capable of handling field operations, would benefit any team fortunate enough to have her with them. Before the Prydwyn left the capital wasteland, I spent 6 months helping her design the power armor frame she's using to enhance her mobility. She's trained in the armor rigorously and is fully qualified, actually, more than qualified to be placed with our ground troops. I've been treating wounded soldiers for almost 2 decades. I've yet to see anyone that can match Ingram's level of commitment and determination. Confining us to the ship would be a waste of resources and a damn shame. Now that we have arrived in the Commonwealth, I'd like to establish trade relations with the locals. I'm going to need a standard sweep and retrieve team and one of the vertibirds in order to make that happen. There are several caravans that roam the Commonwealth and we'll use the vertibirds to track them. If any of the caravans get jumped, we can swoop in and lend a hand to let them know that we're friendly and a friendly eye in the sky. Since you can't normally buy that kind of protection from mercenaries, we'll be certain to get the best prices and values for trades. We used the same tactic in the capital wasteland and it worked wonders. Out here with the threat of the Institute looming over their heads, we'll have these merchants eating out of our hands. Very clever. After examining technical documentation brought by one of our patrols, I've identified Fort Strong as a priority target. The location was an experimental weapons testing facility and according to their manifests, it should still contain a sizable stockpile of man shelf. Wow, where's this? I need to go there. According to the patrol, the fort is inhabited by super mutants who are in serious jeopardy of losing the stockpile if something isn't done immediately. We have to go there. We're gonna have to go. We most definitely need to go there because Fat Man's. This is Maxon's, isn't it? Anything we take from here is stealing. Everywhere else is fine. Coming in?
Hey, just point me to it.
Jesus, dude. It's hidden.
Hey, put that back.
Shut up, Preston. I'll take what I want and there's nothing you can do. If I'm hidden, I'm taking it. If you don't like it, go away. Priority communication. We picked up some disturbing news regarding a rise in super mutant activity near the Commonwealth, and Paladin Hudson has bravely volunteered to single-handedly investigate. This mission will take the Paladin deep into hostile territory, so you'll need all the support he can provide. I'm having Tegan give Paladin Hudson an ample supply of ammunition and making sure Ingram certifies that his power armor is in peak condition. I'm also allowing Paladin Hudson full use of one of our vertibird gunships, so I'll have one prepped immediately. Once everything is ready, I'll meet you and Paladin Hudson on the flight deck so we can give him a proper send-off. Can't stress to you how dangerous this mission will be, so it's imperative that we provide the Paladin with all the support we can muster. Cool. And we got Recon Squad Artemis. As requested, I've provided you with all the current information we have on Recon Squad Artemis. According to our records, we sent them into the Commonwealth approximately 3 years ago to perform a standard survey beginning with the Malden area. We received a few reports from the team and then abruptly lost contact. Nothing in their communications indicated anything unusual, so we assumed they either lost the ability to radio us or been killed. The squad consisted of 7 soldiers under the command of Paladin Brandis, so they certainly had plenty of firepower and the experience required to survive a deep recon mission. I have several recon teams searching for Artemis' whereabouts, but so far they've been unsuccessful. As you know, in order to get the Prydwyn rapidly to the Commonwealth, I had my engineering team pull her older power plant and replace it with an updated fusion plant we pulled from the aircraft carrier wreckage. I was able to squeeze almost 100% efficiency from the new reactor, but the system is burning through our coolant supply faster than expected. As we've been docked over the airport, I've been able to deactivate the main engines to cool down the reactor, but we're still eating up coolant when we're in hover mode. Eventually going to hit a point where we'll run out of coolant. If that happens, we'll need to put the Prydwyn on the ground. I desperately need your help if you want to prevent that from happening. I'll be certain to provide you with the details at our next briefing. Wow, the Prydwyn's in trouble. As requested, I've sent over my evaluation of Proctor Ingram's capabilities in the field. In my professional opinion, Ingram is fully capable of handling field operations and would benefit any team fortunate enough to have her with them. Yeah, we've already read that one. Tegan. You'll be pleased to know that work on the armoured reinforcement plating for your jacket is complete, and I'll be more than happy to send up Scrub to retrieve it when you're ready. The plating is fairly strong, but I think you'll appreciate how lightweight the entire jacket will feel once the modification is made. I've stress tested the plating and it should help you resist different types of energy weapon fire, as well as most ballistic threats. After you try it on, let me know if it's comfortable to wear long term, or if I need to make any adjustments to the design. According to Proctor Quinlan, we have a serious security threat on our hands. There's a sizable stockpile of fat men. Yeah, we've read that one. Let's go and speak to him.
Tighten up the movement. Like that. Now split the difference. There.
Move over to Max somewhere, is he?
Now half that. You want to do it? No, no.
He's up here, isn't he, somewhere? I'll go and level up as well at some point.
Now that you've familiarized yourself with the Prydwyn's crew, are you ready for your next assignment, brother?
Yeah, we'll help you.
What sort of assignment are we talking about?
The kind of assignment where all of the training you've done finally begins to pay off. Let's get right to it then, shall we? Take a look over there. That's Fort Strong, and it's infested with super mutants. Having those aberrations of nature close enough to smell is making me sick to my stomach. To make matters worse, they're sitting on top of a massive stockpile of Fat Man shells we could use in our campaign. I want you to head over there, wipe out everything that moves, and secure that stockpile. Understood?
Consider it done.
Look, I realize you're eager to take the fight to the Institute, but it'll have to wait. The Brotherhood cannot allow those abominations to have a nuclear arsenal at their fingertips.
Those super mutants have been raiding across the Commonwealth for years. I'm glad to have the Brotherhood's help clearing them out.
Now, we have a vertibird on standby, fully armed and ready to depart. Use it to carry our message to Fort Strong, and wipe those dirty mutants from the face of the earth. Dismissed.
Right, I'm going to finish this one here, guys. In the next one, we'll board the vertibird. We'll go over there and we'll take them out. Oh, over there, sorry. And we'll take them out. Minutemen and Brotherhood working hand in hand is a great team. That's what we need. There's too many factions in here that go against each other. The fact that the Minutemen are the only ones that don't seem to go against anybody apart from the Institute works in our favour, so we can team with the Brotherhood. Anyway, guys, thank you all for watching, and until next time, take care.